up, YouTube? It is March 4th, Tuesday. Little update on training here. We just finished off the 28-miler on Antelope Island this past Saturday. Following that on Sunday, I had a cross-training day or off. So I decided, it was so beautiful out, it was like 65 degrees here in Salt Lake City Valley. So I went and like 16 miles around the local park, Sugar House. That was pretty sweet. Super packed, super busy, probably the most people I've ever seen around there. It's almost like the central park, I'd say, of Salt Lake City, where there's a one-way lane for cars that goes around it. There's a lane for bikes, and then there's a lane dedicated for pedestrians. Although the pedestrians seem to like to blur the lines between the pedestrian lane and the bike lane, which means it's a bit harder if you're on the bike. It's pretty easy to move out of the way, just another obstacle, a mental game component to work on. So anyway, to start this week off of training, on Monday we had another day where we were back on the roads running. Did 90 minutes. It was programmed as an easy 90. I took it a bit more moderate. This block going into the Buffalo Run 50-miler, I'm aiming to do more work in the high zone 2 heart rate range and low zone 3. So what that looks like is, anywhere from 155 to like 165-ish range. And what's provoked this is at Black Canyon, I felt like I had that zone 2 easy-ish pace, all-day pace locked in pretty well, and I could have done it for maybe even 40 miles longer on that day. And I just felt like I really didn't get enough out of myself on that course and on that day. So what I'm doing to almost make myself feel better in a way, going into the Buffalo Run 50, is to sprinkle in a bit more intensity on my easy days. Nothing that's going to prevent me from having good workout days like I am going to today, but just adding a little bit more volume at speeds that are going to be faster than what I expect to be racing at Buffalo Run, just so that those paces at Buffalo Run feel easier and feel more natural. I'm almost trying to normalize a pace that's 7:30 per mile and below, because that's what I'm aiming to run there. So yesterday I did about a half marathon at 6:49 minute per mile average, and that felt pretty smooth. I felt like I was going a little bit faster at times. I looked down my watch, and it'd be in the 650s, low 7s, and it confused me a bit because I thought I was in a shape that would feel a tad easier, but all that's to say that it felt pretty smooth in general. I felt like I could have held that for quite some time. Just had to focus and concentrate a little bit more on the effort, and realize that I just had to up my cadence a little bit of my stride, and just focus on putting one foot in front of the other just a little bit quicker than I normally would on my easy days. And I reacted pretty well to it. My body's responded pretty well. It's been feeling pretty decent these past few days following that big effort on Saturday. So I thought, since I'm feeling good, I'm gonna do a nice flat run at Liberty Park. I'd say it's pretty close to what Sugar House Park is, but it is a flat, about 1.25 miles and 4/10 loop that's much flatter than the loop at Sugar House. So I decided to go there, seeing as the course at Buffalo Run 50-miler starts off with about 25 to 28 miles that are relatively flat, all things considered, for a trail race. In those 25 to 28 miles, there's about 600 to 700 feet of gain. The course has total 34 to 3,600. So that first half, I'm gonna have to be comfortable running on the flats for quite some time, almost like doing a marathon on steroids, where I basically run a marathon at a pretty good clip, and then I have to be prepared to get up and down these hills in the back half that are all quite runnable. It's just that fatigue that's imminent will set in, and I'm gonna have to just battle through it. So the idea is that, you know, I'm getting in these flat workouts, flat sessions that are at a bit quicker of a pace than what I'll be doing in those first 25, 28 miles, just so that I'm, you know, familiarized with that pace. And then today, what we're doing, my coach Hayden Hawks, he's got me doing, I think it's 5 by 4 minutes uphill at about LT effort, which for me is like 7 out of 10 and like 165 to 175 heart rate, which I think will be a pretty healthy effort. I have been out on Antelope Island quite a bit in the past few weeks, just scouting out the course, doing my due diligence out there, making sure that I've ran every single step of it. Since it's so close, it's easy to get in those miles out there and just familiarize myself, and there's no excuse for me not to know the entire course before I step out there. So what I'm going to do in this workout is try to replicate those hills out there that are all runnable by doing a workout on this fire road near North Salt Lake City. I guess just north of the capital, not quite North Salt Lake City proper, but it's a fire road that leads up to Ensign Peak, or Ensign, however you pronounce it, and I'm going to do it there. The course at Buffalo Run is pretty buffed out, pretty smooth. You could probably be running in road shoes comfortably there. I'm going to err on the side of trail shoes just so that I have that added security of knowing that I have some built-in traction if need be. So I'm going to do the workout today, 5 by 4 minutes, lactic threshold, pace, jog down the hills as my rest, and then get right back into it there. Tomorrow I have 3 hours at easy to moderate pace. I work for 9:45 to 4 p.m. So I'm going to try to get that in before work on Antelope and head to work. Might be a little tough to fit in there, especially since Antelope's a little under an hour from my house, but that's the plan as of now to start the week. Things are feeling pretty good. I wore the Ultra Torrens 8s yesterday that were seated to me since I work at Salt Lake City Running Company. These past few weeks we've gotten quite a few shoes to try out and wear and to familiarize ourselves, just so that we're better prepared to speak to a customer about it. And I wore them yesterday for the run. They felt pretty smooth. They are zero drop like traditional ultras, so my Achilles and my lower leg region is a bit more sore than usual, but that's to be expected. I kind of want to keep strengthening that up for this race because there is quite a bit of downhill pounding where I'm going to expect to go fast and to make up time on the downhill since they're pretty smooth, but I'm going to need a bit more leg strength to push through those. So that's the plan as of now. We're pulling up to the parking spot for the workout now, and I hope to share a few clips of this workout coming up right here. So appreciate you guys for watching, and here we go. All right, I'm starting the 20-minute warm-up. It's a bit windy, so apologies for that. But I got a question for the comment section here. If you guys wouldn't mind answering, what is the appeal of small dogs? I'm talking Chihuahuas. I'm talking those little white dogs, crusty dogs. Like, I'm not sure, like, what's the appeal? What's the functionality? If you have one, if you aspire to have one, or if you just like them in general, let me know in the comments, because every time I interact with one, or one forcefully interacts with me, like just now on the trailhead, there's these 3 Chihuahuas that came barking at my heels. Like, I'm not sure why you'd want to own one of those creatures. So let me know. This fire road up above Ensign Peak is flipping awesome. This thing is legit. Whew. Man. And it connects to the Antelope Shoreline Trail. Look at that. Right down the other side there. This is unreal. I might just use that for my workout today. Either of these options right here are good. Similar runability as Buffalo Run, similar grades. And look at this view of the Salt Lake Valley and surrounding mountains. Look at that. Salt Lake over there. There's Antelope Island. You can see the Buffalo Run course from here. This is awesome. I would almost compare this to like a Gold Hill-esque from Boulder. And how runnable this gravel is / dirt. Wow, man, there's the Capitol right down there. All right, pretty soon we gotta start our uphill session. Just finished up interval 1. Bit of a rough start there, TBH. My chorus heart rate monitor was not spitting out the right heart rate. It was undershooting by 30 beats per minute at least. It was reading like 138, 140, and my effort was considerably higher. Something like 165, 170 beats per minute. So tried to monkey around with that after that first one and just test out to see if this is any better. Not sure what's going on right now, but 4 more to go. 4 minutes uphill, running the downhill right now. Headed back down after lap 2 uphill. That one was a bit more accurate than the heart rate data. So I averaged around 162. I feel like I was for the most part above that near the end in the 170s. So happy with that effort. This is killer, man. My legs feel quite heavy. Got some DOMs, otherwise known as some delayed onset muscle fatigue syndrome. I don't know if that's the actual acronym, but something like that from Saturday. So we're pushing through that. This is one of those days that I need to secure and I need to push through, because this is one I'm going to look back on when I'm deep in the race and use to push through those hills. So just envisioning what that feeling's going to be like and how I'm going to react to it right now. Coming back down the hill from interval 3. I'm sure you guys have heard this plenty of times, but it's normal on your workout days to feel some sort of doubt and unbelief that you will be able to complete a workout, and that's perfectly normal. Doubt is almost like the obstacle that you're setting yourself up for in this challenge, and it's something that we all need to seek out to grow exponentially. I know this is all cliche to say, but it's something that continues to resonate with me on these workout days where I'm about halfway through an interval and doubt starts to creep in, like, how am I supposed to do this uphill for another 2 minutes? So just want to tell you guys that if you're feeling that way during your workouts, I wouldn't stop. I'd push through. I'm gonna take you guys with me for this next interval, interval 4. Arms already getting tired. Like 5 seconds in.
Knock it over. Someone just forgot it? Yeah. Here.
Just finished up interval 5, last one of the day. Overall, felt pretty satisfied with that workout. Felt like I got a good amount out of me. Felt pretty smooth throughout, but also pushed to the effort I needed to. That last interval, I was testing out this little offshoot I'm on right now to see where it would lead, and about half of it was uphill. Second half, not so much. So got a little push downhill. Didn't get my heart rate up as high with that being the case, but now we have a 20-minute or so cool down back to the car. So we're gonna run up this trail and then down and over Ensign Peak right there. You guys can see that. So workout of the week, donezo. We got 3 hours, easy to moderate tomorrow. Might elect to do it around here instead of Antelope, knowing what I do now about this super underrated and underutilized training ground in Salt Lake. I don't see enough people on this section of trails doing workouts, doing runs, and I think in utilizing these soft surface runnable uphill grades, you can get a lot of benefit from them in terms of improving your running economy, just overall abilities on uphills. So I think I'm gonna start utilizing this more and spreading the good word about it on here and on Strava and not gatekeep it, because I think a lot of people in the area, a lot of my peers, could benefit from getting a good solid workout or run in this area. I guess the big factor right now is that the trails are pretty dry, relatively soft with how the rain from the past day and a half or so has impacted them, but it isn't muddy. It just is at this nice texture and density where it just reduces the force on your joints a bit, but still allows you to run at a good enough clip. I could see this trail and that fire road being a bit different when it's snow covered and icy. I had done hill workout at the bottom of that fire road during my Black Canyon block. It was a bit tough to do continuous hills on 1 minute up, 1 minute down continuously for 10 minutes straight because of how little traction I had on the ice. So conditions are great right now and vibes are stellar. All right, I might have spoken a little too soon. Nothing major, but looks like we found the mud and ice of this trail. Oh, slop, slop, slop. Don't want to degrade the trail, but I really don't have much choice here. Whoa, it's slick. Holy cow. Cloppy. Oh, here we go. Back to the dry dirt. Picked up a pound of mud on my soles. Head down to Ensign Peak. It's right there with the little monument up top. Almost back to the car now, and I just passed those little 3 chihuahuas again. This time they're a little bit less angsty and maybe they just need to get some energy out. I definitely resonate with that. Not getting some exercise really puts a hamper on my overall mood, and maybe that's just what they needed too. So got a little bit more respect for those little guys. They were a little bit more cute. They weren't all fired up. All right, back at the car. We just wrapped up the workout. 20-minute warm up, 5x4 uphill with a 3.5 minute rest with pauses to pick up the camera and such, and then 20-ish minute cool down back to the car. I wore the Endurance 4s from North Face. They just came out. Probably my favorite training shoe at the moment. It's a good blend of super shoe feel with a durable trainer. Took 2 Science and Sport Beta Fuel gels, 40 grams of carbs each during the workout. Before the workout, I had 3 Spring Energy Gel expired Hill Aid gels I got from work. They each have, I believe, 30 milligrams of caffeine and 23 grams of carbs, so about 69 grams of carbs before the workout and 90 milligrams of caffeine. Carried 2 handhelds, 500 milliliters of water, and then 500 milliliters of water with Redmond's Pina Colada electrolytes. Didn't drink both of those to the full extent, but for the most part I got all of those liquids in. Wore my Raid belt, pretty clutch for workouts, any sort of running really. If you don't want to wear a vest, it's a good substitute. I can show you it right now quickly. It's in the back of my trunk. Oh. So it's got a nice front pocket here with 2 straps on either side to lock in the fit. Got a big back pocket right here to hold like a 20-ounce bottle if you want that. It comes with one. And then like a little key spot I really like right there. It's super clutch to put your key in there. If you want to, on the inner ring on the front side, you can put gels in each of these spots. I like to keep gels just in here or in my half tight pockets, and then keep my like GoPro or like phone in this one. So it's pretty clutch. Got a few different elastic things here for poles. I've put both my poles and Natalie's poles in these at the same time and had a fine time running down Mount Olympus, 4,000 feet in about 3 miles, 2 miles, whatever it is down. And, you know, didn't really deal with much bounce. The nice thing with this belt is that it has a little bit of built-in foam / structure on the backside where it rests on your low back. So that almost prevents it from bouncing at all and just adds to the overall value, I think, of this pretty expensive piece of equipment. I think it's well worth it. It's about 150 bucks. I got the large size since my waist is anywhere from 32 to 34 and it works just fine. So been loving this thing. Wore this for Black Canyon. I know Seth wore this for Black Canyon and won it, and he also, coincidentally enough, wore this model here, the Endurus 4s, for Black Canyon as well. So pretty solid shoe. Making sure that I have all the best, you know, equipment and all of the best nutrition and fuel at my disposal, so I give myself the best chance of having the best workouts, and so that I recover faster. And in turn, I think that's led me to become a better overall athlete in the process, just doing the small things right on a day in, day out basis. So overall solid workout. And now we're gonna hit the sauna, I think, for about 20 minutes at the rec center. Did it for 30 minutes yesterday. It was a bit cooler in there, cooler than it usually is. I'm not sure what the deal was, but Sunday I did 20 minutes as well after my bike ride, and that was super hot, which was awesome. So gonna test that out, and you know, while I have this internal body temperature up a bit, I'm gonna go get some heat armor, as I like to think about it, just to make sure that I'm ready for the heat if it does come during the race. And I've also felt that it feels like free fitness when I just sit in there. I feel like I just become more fit. I'm not sure exactly what the science is behind it. Might have to do with hemoglobin mass increasing in my blood, but yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode and this training vlog. Solid workout, and on to the next. Here we go.